Hey everyone, coming with course 3 lesson 1-2 video today. So you should be taking out your note-taking guide and finding lesson 1-2, which is on order operations. So order operations, you've probably heard the acronym PEMDAS before, and we'll get to the full acronym later, but if you remember, that's parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. This is going to be just kind of we're going to leave a couple of those operations out right now. It's going to kind of be a little bit more basic order operation stuff. So there's going to be no exponents right now. Okay. So what we're going to be looking at, order operations, and here's the order that you'll do them in. I don't have a writing pen yet, but usually the PEMDAS that I was talking about would be in this order. So sorry, it's taking so slow. I'm going to get a computer writing pen. That will be much faster soon. So anyways, we have PEMDAS. So we're going to look to see if there's any parentheses. There will be some problems with that. Then you're going to look to see if there's any exponents. This section, there's not going to be any. Then you look for multiplication and division. These two are on the same level as what you'll see. If they're both in a problem, you do whatever comes first, left to right. Then you look for addition and subtraction. Again, those are on the same level, so it's not always addition before subtraction. You do whatever comes first, left to right. Okay, so that's just what it's talking about here. Okay, so let's just look at a few examples, and then I'll give you suggestions on how to practice this stuff. Order operations here, it says evaluate the expression. That just means find the answer. You got 9 minus 14 times 3 divided by 7. Okay, so there's no parentheses. Okay, there is multiplication and division. So the first step will be, there's multiplication and division. You do whatever one comes first, going left to right. So the first step is going to be right here, the 14 times 3. So you can see they put that in the box here. That's 42. So now it's 9 minus 42 divided by 7. So there's a subtraction and a division. Division is here, subtraction is here. So you do division first. So now they will take 42 divided by 7. Okay. And that becomes 6. And now the last step is 9 minus 6, which gives you 3. Okay, so that's how you follow the steps of PEMDAS. Okay, let's look at another example. All right, when you see parentheses or any other grouping symbols, it could be brackets, things like that, you do those first. Okay, and then you follow the same rules with inside there, meaning if there's multiplication, division, addition, subtraction, you do your regular order operations within the parentheses first. Then you work outside. So here we have parentheses. It says 16 plus 9 inside the parentheses. So we do that first. That comes out to be 25. And we still have the times 4. So we take 25 times 4 is 100. Okay. Now we have a problem with a fraction bar, and there's math on top, there's math on bottom. Basically, when you see math on both top and bottom of a fraction bar, you do them both separately, and then that fraction bar means division, so you divide at the end. So this just 6 times 10 is the 60. Okay, now you really could do the bottom part at the same step because you're just doing them as two separate problems. So they didn't, they rewrote the 7 plus 5, but then the 7 plus 5 is 12. Okay. Then when you got both the top and the bottom down to just one number, you divide. So 60 divided by 12 is 5. And again, you guys can use your calculators on this stuff, that's fine. But you still need to use the order operations because a lot of like cell phone calculators and stuff, you can't really type in a lot of these parentheses and things like that, and it gets really complicated. So no order operations will help this go really fast. All right, this last one here, this would probably be the most complicated one you would see in this section or something similar to this. We got actually two different grouping symbols. So it's 48 divided by, and then we got a bracket, 120 divided by, I know it's hard to read there, but that's divided by, and then in parentheses, 4 times 5, and then it closes off with a bracket. So we look at this, we have brackets, but inside the brackets, we have a parentheses. So we have to do what's inside that first. Okay, so the first step here is doing what's inside the innermost parentheses. Well, 4 times 5, and that's how they get this 20. So we copy everything else down. We get 48, do the division sign, we do the bracket, 120, and then the 4 times 5 was 20. So now we still have this bracket. So we need to divide what's in the bracket because there's a division sign. So 120 divided by 20 gives you 6. So we did that, we get 6. Now the last step, we just copy the 48, we copy the division, we had our 6 from this division, and we just go 48 divided by 6 is 8. Okay. All right. So I'm going to go over a few of these with you. And just make sure we know how to get these answers. I'll do the best I can writing with this. I know soon I'll have a writing tool that I can do this and it'll look way better. But when you're doing this, if you're going to do the worksheet for extra credit, okay, the answers are in the back of that, and I'll talk about that again. I need to see however many numbers are in your problem, I need to see at least half those many for steps. So there's 3 numbers here. I need to see at least 1 step. Here, I need to probably see 2 steps. Anything with 4 or more numbers, I need to see 2 steps. Okay. We'll see if we could do this with 1, but I think that's going to be a 2-step. Okay. So I don't want to, I'm not going to give you extra credit if you send me a picture of the worksheet and all there is answers. Okay. So here we have, looks like an addition and a division. Again, it's hard to see on the screen here, but on your papers, you should be able to see that. So if we have addition and division, the first step is going to be divide. So we're going to write down the 15. Okay, we do the plus. And we have to divide these first. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. And then we go 15 plus 3 is 18. Okay. Number 2 here, 32 minus 9 times 7. Divide, or that looks like a plus 7. Yeah, I think. Trying to read my own. Let me see the paper here. Yep, that's a plus. Okay, so first thing we got to do is multiplication. So again, I'm going to try to write this as best I can. We're going to copy the 32 down. Ooh, that's bad. Minus, now we do the 9 times 2. It's 18. And then we copy the plus 7 down. Okay, so now the next step, we have a 32 minus 18 plus 7. We have a subtraction and a plus. So this is what I'm talking about. We have addition and subtraction. Addition isn't necessarily have more priority over subtraction. If you see both of those, you do what comes first. So 32 minus 18, you would do first, and that's 14. And then plus 7 gives you the 21. Okay. Here we have 5 times 8 minus 2 times 14. So we could do this in a few different number of steps, but we have 2 multiplications separated by subtractions. Well, we're for sure going to do this multiplication first. So 5 times 8 is 40. Now we could write down minus 2 times 14. Or you can kind of look ahead and say, well, the next thing I need to do is this 2 times 14. So you could just put the subtraction and then do this 2 times 14, which is 28. So sometimes it works out where you can kind of do 2 steps in one. Okay, if you need to, write out the whole thing. So write, 5 times 8 is 40, and then write as minus 2 times 14, and then your next step would be 2 times 14. Okay, then 40 minus 28 gives you the 12. Okay, use your calculator for help. Number 4, 64 divided by 9 plus 7. Now, usually you do the division first, but the 9 plus 7 is in parentheses. Okay, so you're going to have the 64, and we got to do the parentheses first. So we have the division here. 9 plus 7 is 16. Okay, so then 64 divided by 16 is 4. All right, probably the most complicated one on here, or the most that has the most going on. We have 11 times the group of 15 minus 3, and then that group divided by 3. So 11 is going to be copied down. We can't do that first because we got other grouping symbols. Times. Now we look inside the brackets. Now inside the brackets is parentheses. So we have to do that first. So actually the first thing is that. So I'm going to copy down my bracket best I can. 15 minus 3 is 12. And then we copy down the division by 3. Sorry again. Make sure you're listening, not just watching, because this is ugly. But now we still have this in brackets. So with the 11 stays out here. We have the multiply. 12 divided by 3 is 4. And then 11 times 4 is 44. Okay. And the last one, we have a fraction bar. So we're going to do the top and bottom separately. And then do division. So the top part, 41 plus 13 is 54. Okay. Then the bottom we do separately. 9 times 3 is 27. We take 54 divided by 27 is 2. Okay, so there's a bunch of examples. If any of this didn't make sense, let me know during class time. You can ask questions. After this, what you could do, if that all made perfect sense and you've done that before, great. You really don't have to do anything after that. Otherwise, go to your study guide. If you can do, they show an example and then a few problems. If you can do all the problems in the study guide, okay, then you're probably pretty good. Okay. If you want to, or if you think you need more practice, you go to 1.2 and you can do, all the problems will get you more extra credit points. If you want to do, you got to at least do half the problems for me to give you some extra credit points. So, if you did the odds or the evens or something and all the word problems, that'll get you more. I suggest probably trying the word problems because you may have a word problem or two on the test. I'm actually going to go over, before we finish here, this one on the study guide, just because there wasn't a word problem on the note-taking guide. So it says you buy 3 boxes of cereal at $3.25 each, 1 gallon of milk for $2.30. To find out how much the groceries will cost, you can use a verbal model and write write a verbal model to write and evaluate the expression. So you might not set it up exactly like this, or you might do it in kind of 2 steps. You might not think of writing it out one way, and that's fine. The key is going to be to get the right answer. But the way they do this, it says you buy 3 boxes of cereal at $3.25. So that means 3 times $3.25. And then you also buy a gallon of milk for $2.30, and that's just 1 gallon of milk. So you got to add those 2 things together. Okay, and you probably will just automatically do the order operations in this problem because, okay, you're getting 3 boxes of cereal. Okay, 3 times $3.25, that's the $9.75. Okay. And then just add the 230 onto it. That's 1205. So it's probably a good idea to maybe, try this problem. If you're not, the answer's in the back, but if you're not getting it, let me know. I can always add a separate video later just doing that problem. And again, some of the word problems on 1.2 on here would be a good idea, just to make sure you got that down. If you're not getting the right answers, let me know. Also, if you're going to do some of these problems, can't have just an answer written down. I got to see a step or two to give you the extra credit. So once again, also, I will attach a video here. So I'll put this link up here again. If you want to watch another video on this to help you out, you got to click on chapter 1 and then go to 1.2.
Sometimes.
And there'll be a video on order operations there. Okay. All right. If there's questions, let me know, and we'll see you later.